Hey guys, so the Premier League transfer window has finally ended. So today we'll be talking about the the transfers and the transfer businesses of the top 6 clubs, so the 6 clubs that will be fighting for the title. And I'll be rating each and every club depending on the transfer activity. So first up we'll have Arsenal, my favorite team. With a new coach at the helm, Arsenal have made a few very important signings. They finally bought a defensive midfielder in the form of Lucas Torreira. Torreira has won more tackles, won more fouls, and made the most interceptions since the beginning of the 2016-17 season in Serie A, which is an incredible stat. Arsenal have also bought a goalkeeper, Bernd Leno, which was really crucial, especially after Petr Cech's poor displays last season. And Leno is also an expert at saving penalties. He has saved 9 penalties in Bundesliga, which is more than any other player. Arsenal have also signed a defender, Socrates Pasta. I don't know if that's his actual pronunciation, but I don't care. Who is a very experienced centre back, and although he's not the most exciting signing, he is important for the team, especially when someone like Kojelny or one of the defenders gets injured. He will provide the experience to the team that was otherwise lacking. And he's got a pretty impressive pass success rate too, at 87%. Arsenal have also signed Stephan Lichtsteiner for free from Juventus. The Swiss captain is 34 years old and has been bought only for a short-term measure, which I think is just to provide competition for Bellerin in the right back position. That's the only reason I think he's bought, because right now Bellerin has absolutely no competition at all in his position. But let me tell you one thing. The most exciting thing about Steven Lichtsteiner is his nickname, Forrest Gump. Arsenal's final signing was Guendouzi, the teenager from FC Lorient, who has impressed so much in the preseason friendlies that surely he can give Granit Xhaka a run for his money in the starting position. Now, considering all these signings, plus the fact that Arsenal haven't let out anybody that important except for Jack Wilshere and a Santi Cazorla who can probably never be at his best again, I would give them a 7.5 out of 10 in the transfers, because they could have signed a winger and they could have also signed another good quality centre back. But overall, I think this was a pretty satisfactory transfer window for any gunner, especially considering the last few transfer windows. Next up, we have Arsenal's rivals from North London, Tottenham Hotspurs, who get a 0 out of 10 for the transfer activities because they've bought absolutely no one. By no one, I mean no one, and that's the end of the story. The final team from London on our list is Chelsea, who have done very admirably in the transfer window. They've gotten Jorginho for £57 million, who was arguably the best midfielder in Serie A last season, making 1.7 key passes and 2.1 tackles per game. He's also completed the highest number of passes in the top 5 leagues last season at 2,860. Chelsea have also gotten Mateo Kovacic on loan from Real Madrid. Mateo Kovacic was once considered the most promising youngster in the world. However, he couldn't reach his heights because his playtime has been restricted in Real Madrid. Last season, despite making just 10 starts in La Liga, he he has the ninth highest number of passes per 90 minutes at 72, and the fourth highest number of dribbles per 90 minutes at 3.2 dribbles. Courtois finally completed his dream move to Real Madrid, and in replacement for him, Chelsea have got Kepa Arrizabalaga from Athletic Bilbao for 80 million euros, making him the most expensive goalkeeper ever. And the only notable and interesting stat about Kepa is that he's made more accurate long balls in La Liga last season than anybody else. Apart from that, all his other stats are quite mediocre. And when I say mediocre, I mean compared to the other really good keepers, they are mediocre. But again, their other two keepers were Robert Green and Willie Caballero. So I guess Chelsea were quite desperate. Once again, Chelsea have loaned out like a billion players. And keeping all this in consideration, I will give Chelsea 8 out of 10 for the transfer activities. From the 16-17 Premier League champions, let us move on to the 17-18 champions Manchester City. Their only main signing this season was Riyad Mahrez for £60 million from Leicester City. The 2015-16 PFA Player of the Year was had a dip of form in 2016-17 season, but again was in his top form in the previous season, winning 199 FPL points. I don't know how that matters, but whatever. So he seems to be a good addition to the midfield, deepening and strengthening the squad even more. But other than that, they haven't bought any defensive midfielder, which they really require because Fernandinho is getting old. And but anyway, Man City have also bought in a few future prospects like Claudio Gomez, Philippe Sandler, and the Australian Daniel Arzani, who was the youngest player to feature in this year's World Cup. So I guess for all of this, I'll have to give Man City a 6. Now let us move on to the red side of Manchester, Man United. Man United have done poorly this transfer window, with even Jose Mourinho complaining and expressing his disappointment publicly over not getting the players he had wanted, criticizing the club's authorities. Man U's only main signing this season was Fred, the central midfielder from Shakhtar Donetsk, for just a bit over £50 million. Since the stats for the Ukrainian domestic league are not available, or like relying on my stats from the Champions League last season, I have derived that his strengths are key passes and defensive contributions, making 2.9 tackles per game in last season's Champions League. However, Man U have also bought Diego Dalot, the 19-year-old Portuguese right back who had won the under 17 Euros with Portugal in 2016. And in 8 matches for Porto since his senior debut in this February, the team has just conceded 3 goals. And of course, Man U have also signed the best goalkeeper in the world, Lee Grant. With all this in mind, I give them a 5 out of 10. Finally, we have United's biggest rivals, Liverpool, who have arguably done the best in the transfer window out of these 6 teams. They have gotten Alisson, a world class goalkeeper, arguably one of the best keepers last season, who has made 3.4 saves per goal conceded. Especially comparing that to Karius's 2 saves per goal, it is a big improvement. However, Liverpool have also paid heftily for this, paying Roma €75 million for Alisson, making him at that time the most expensive keeper in the world. Liverpool have also added depth to their attack, signing Shaqiri from Stoke City for £13 million. The Alpine Messi, he is known for scoring outstanding goals, and 8 of his first 13 goals for Stoke City in the Premier League have come from outside the penalty box. And Shaqiri has also got off to the best possible start you can get to his Liverpool career by scoring a bicycle kick on debut against Manchester United in a pre-season friendly. Liverpool have also signed a couple of midfielders, Naby Keita and Fabinho. Especially Naby Keita seems like a bargain, costing just £53 million, and yet he has made the 6th most number of ground challenges, that is tackles and interceptions in the Bundesliga last season, and the most on average per 90 minutes. On top of this defensive work, he's made the second most key passes in the Bundesliga. He also completed the third most dribbles for any player in last season's Bundesliga. He seems like an absolute beast, and I'm actually surprised RB Leipzig let him go for just £50 million. The other midfielder that Liverpool have bought is Fabinho from Monaco. The central defensive midfielder has won 6 Man of the Match awards last season, compared to the best CDM in the world, Kante's solitary Man of the Match award in last season's Premier League. So, looks like even Fabinho is a great signing. Now, I give Liverpool a 9 out of 10 for their signings this season, because they've added two really strong midfielders who can now protect the defense. Plus, they've also strengthened their attack and gotten a really top-notch goalkeeper. Now, that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.